super excited this morning's discussion and report back session. I think really sets up some of what I'm going to be talking about today. And so basically the idea is building automated forecasting systems that actually still facilitate model development and scientific inquiry. And so to motivate the work that we've been doing, we're focusing on a long-term ecological study started by Jim Brown and colleagues in the late 1970s in southeastern Arizona, where 24 quarter-hectare plots are used to census rodent populations every lunar month, resulting in a really great long-term time series of population, species-specific, and total rodent counts. As part of ongoing research, we forecast the rodent counts a year into the future using an automated iterative pipeline, which we detailed in a recent paper that is partially cut off on the screen right now, in Methodology, Ecology, and Evolution. Once the data are collected and entered in the field, they're collected in the field and then entered, they're archived into a public data repository that's available on Zenodo. A number of people have contributed to an R package called Portaler that's on CRAN that helps work with the data and make it available to a lot of different resources. And here into a public repository here called the Portal Predictions Repository that actually runs the automated iterative forecasting. This occurs via a process known as continuous analysis that combines continuous integration tools with software containers, which we just spoke about a little bit, that allows reproducible analysis even with updated data. And that's set up on a chronological timer, so it occurs every week, and that updates an archived output that is then also rendered onto a website that's publicly available. And so what I really want to focus on today is in this section where the actual science happens, right? The actual forecasting, because this is where the questions get asked, where we want to ask, is a new model potentially better, or what happens if we swap this out, or what about this potential ensemble, or whatever, right? And so the idea here is that we want to be able to add and change the models. Currently, we have placeholder models. They're not very good. As you can see here, we have the historic time series, and the prediction with the mean and a 90% confidence interval that's about as wide as the historic population and everything to go on, right? So we're not doing very well, but that's okay. We've got models, and we want to improve those. This is where the science gets to happen, right? And so how do we do that when we're trying to maintain the integrity of the production pipeline, as it's called? So we want to facilitate model building and improvement while ensuring the stability of the production pipeline. We do this via software technique known as sandboxing. So the basic idea is that you set up a similar environment that's as close to the runtime environment as possible somewhere else where you can then tinker, play in the sandbox and build out your model, right? And so we did this by combining all of the code that had existed in the Portal Predictions repository before into its own package called Portal Casting that's also available on R now, or on GitHub right now, but it's an R package. And then basically what this allows the user to do is spin up a local version of the repository, including all the inputs and the outputs, play in the sandbox, build their super sweet castle, port it into the Docker container, and then it gets added into our repository, and then we get to ask scientific questions. To help facilitate this, created some vignettes about the code base, how to actually set up a sandbox on your local computer, and then what's involved in adding the model. As it stands right now, some of this stuff is still in progress, and there's a lot that we're working out, but we've got the structure set up. So we're not quite at version 1.0 yet, but things are going along pretty well. And we've already added a model. So don't need to pay attention to the details, but basically on the website, we have all the details of the models, and we just added a new one. And it's by far the best by AIC, but it's still really stinks, right? It's still a really wide error bound. We're getting a mean, but we're still way too much variance. And so the idea here is now we have this capacity set up. Now let's start adding more models and figure out what's better. And And again, all of this is available as set up for our current repository. But the idea here is that this can be generalized pretty easily as well. And so what I'm sort of working towards a bit as much as possible is setting up the structure so that it can be ported over into other forecasting frameworks. But basically, this is a huge collaborative effort supported by a lot of different resources and a lot of different people. And stuff is all available on the We Ecology GitHub repository. And thank you very much.